All right, I'm going to call this Board of Equalization Special Meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, March 27th. It's 9:30. Notice of the meeting was legally posted. Roll call. I'm Eleanor Thompson, the chair. Brett Town, vice chair.
Present.
And member Teresa Sellers.
Present.
Okay. We're going to do this by phone again.
Yes.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hayes. How are we doing?
I'm not doing too well. I just ended up not having only two of your accounts this morning, so I'm going to pose a huge issue after our hearing today because I've been told that we received it, but we haven't been able to locate it, so that's the problem.
Okay. Well, you've got all of the items on our agenda. We have 12 items on our agenda today, and we'll.
No, yesterday, I'm sorry to cut you off. Yesterday, I had several meetings with my coworkers in regards to evidence, and I thought this was handled. They changed up our whole system. I reached out to Kyrie this morning, and I still can't find the two. So I was like, he says he sent them, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus because Kyrie, I think you're on, but we don't have all the information. So that's not, for me, that's not acceptable. He did send me a lot on last Friday, so I was able to do most stuff yesterday, but as of today, we don't have it to it. So I don't understand the system. You guys do a phase 1 and phase 2. That really has nothing to do with me. All I know is I'm from a experience doing a hearing. We send in our evidence. You guys send us out your evidence, but we can say that has not been received. So what I'm going to do is ask that they provide proof because I don't have proof that it's been sent.
Okay.
So in order to do a hearing, you have to present your evidence to the homeowner or the representative, being our company, through email, and we haven't received it. Now, the burden of proof has now turned to you guys because you guys have ours. We don't have yours. So that's becoming a problem. I don't want to be a pain. I just want to do my hearing, but now I realize I can't do my hearing without your evidence.
Okay, we'll do the best we can today, Mr. Hayes. And
well, I can't see anything. That's the problem. We're doing phone here. This is why I asked if I could come. So that's the first.
You are welcome to come. The issue is you want us to sit here and do 65 in a day, and you should know that we share a conference room and we have other obligations, and we can't sit here and do 65 in a day. You're welcome to. You could come. You could have come and you could see the information. You're not barred from coming.
Well, yeah, and that's the problem. I can't come and stay there because I don't live in that area. So it would be inconvenient for me to come in 10 or 12 here today. That's not feasible for what I do.
Okay, just hold on a second. Yes.
Chris Bevel with the county assessor. I thought maybe this might come up. I have printed the emails from when we sent the documents to Miss Barbara Blandino at Ryan, and I highlighted the date, time it was sent, as well as the account numbers that were on the appeal document for today.
Okay, so with that being said, I actually reached out to you. We've been communicating. I asked that you do me a solid and re-forward them to me. You chose not to. Now, I appreciate you doing this, but in order to keep this rolling, I would appreciate it if you just take a few minutes to resend those to me. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so let me ask this. Who is Barbara Blandino?
She's one of my cohorts. I reached out to her. She said she can't find them. So there's a possibility that she might not have gotten it. Did you put a read receipt on it? Did that happen? Because I made a big fuss about this.
Did you check her spam folder?
Man, we know to do that, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, but are you not, we're going to have the hearings today because legally they were posted and notice was given, or according to law, so I guess you're gonna have to blindly respond to, the assessor going first. Now, did you say you have 2 of the 12 today, right? And couldn't find the other 10?
Yes.
Okay,
We're
we're gonna try to proceed. So we're gonna start first with BOE on the agenda. Number 1 is BOE number 115. And, it's a batch sale. The physical address of this is 1124 Southwest 78th Terrace. And the resident number is 109 89 1790.
Can I clarify, is it 78th Terrace or 75th Terrace? I think I noticed that discrepancy last night.
Oh,
The
I'm
document
sorry.
said one
It
and
is
the agenda says something else. It's 78th. Okay, so the agenda's not correct.
Okay, so this email that I have in front of me, Mr. Hayes, shows that this was sent to Barbara Blandino Monday, February the 26th. Okay. Is this one of the 2 that you have?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me hear from you. I have here that the assessor has this fair market value set at $133,500. Last year it was $98,500, and the year before it was $98,500. You're asking for a valuation of $119,800. And I did not record the sale date on this because it was a batch sale. So I don't know. You can tell me what your purchase price was that you.
What was you guys' value? I'm sorry.
$133,500.
Yes, I agree with that value.
Okay, if you agree with that value, can I have a motion for us to set the fair market value of BOE number 115 at $133,500?
I move on item number 1, BOE number 115, that we set the fair market value at the agreed upon price of $133,500.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the second item on the agenda is BOE number 117, 5517 South Lynn Avenue, residential number 11341 9611. There's another, I'm calling it batch buy. The assessor is suggesting a fair market value of $125,000. You are suggesting a fair market value of $105,400. What's your response, Mr. Hayes?
I have no idea.
Sorry?
I used, I tried to use our data, which I wasn't really sold on. I looked at comp value 2 and 4. We got a median value of $120,000.
Okay.
What was it, 1, 2, and 4?
274.
Oh, sorry.
4 and 7, sorry.
2, 4, and 7. I believe most of your comps were more than a half a mile, correct?
Unfortunately.
Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
Okay. So on this property, it is the major intersection, Southwest 59th and May. You are correct. We have it on for $125,000. That's $116.06 a square foot. We took a look at their comparable sales. I did show that 2 was an unqualified comparable, 4 was an unqualified comparable, 7 was valid. And I have all of their comparables, whether they were valid or invalid. If you'd like to go through all of them, I can. There were a couple in here as well that, like for comparable number 1, they had a sale 4/17 to 23 at 70,000, which was an unqualified sale, but it wasn't the most recent sale. The most recent sale on that was at 8/1/23, which was a valid sale for 170,000. Which was something that I noticed with a lot of the comparable sales that they sent us, was there would be an older sale and then a newer sale with a higher price that wasn't included in the comparables sent.
Do you have a sale date on this one?
On comp number 1?
No, on 117.
The subject, I thought
Oh,
it was
on the
2021.
Okay.
It's 22 as a multi-property.
Okay.
It sold in 21. That one was a qualified sale at 125,000.
Yeah.
And then it was purchased again in 22, and that was a multi-property.
Okay. And Mr. Hayes, you have comps that have you now valuing this less than what you paid for it?
You know, man, how much did we pay for it? How much did you show pay 105 for it, if I'm not mistaken?
124,703.
How much?
$124,703.
In 2021.
Okay, man. I'm paid more than that. 55 minutes, change. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I looked at number 2. It was larger than the 75, both 120,000. The median number 3, and it's larger.
Okay. Okay, you guys are not that far apart. So he's at 120,000. Like I said, it's $4,000 less than what they paid for it, or 3,300. And you guys are at 125. What was your mean on your comps?
Did he say he was at 120?
Our median was 131,000.
3 comps or 6?
6.
Okay, so you're well below your median. Okay. Anything further, Mr. Hayes?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to close the hearing on 117 and open the hearing on 118, which is item 3 on our agenda. Street address 5509 South Lynn Avenue. Resident number 1134-1961-4. You're asking Mr. Hayes for a valuation of $113,150. That's another batch buy, and the assessor has it on for $125,500. I take it you don't have the information on this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
Okay. 5509 South Lynn Avenue. The major intersections were, again, Southwest 59th and May. The original sale was a multi-property sale. It is on for $125,500, as you stated, $118.17 a square foot. The original appeal paperwork appealed a value of $117,073, which was the taxable. The comparables sent for this were the same as the comparables that were sent for the other property that was on Lynn. So you can see comp 1, again, the 70,000 from 4/17/23. That was an unqualified sale, and it had sold 8/1 of 23 for 170,000. And our median value was, again, 131,000 when we ran our comparable sales with 6 comparables.
Any response, Mr. Hayes?
No whatsoever.
Okay, I'm gonna close the hearing on 118 and go to item 4 on the agenda, which is BOE number 119. Street address 2817 Fairfield Drive, resident number 1200615990. The assessor has this on, you guys are not that far apart, 233,500. Mr. Hayes, you're asking 221,350. And I have that your purchase price for this in March of 21 was $175,000. Any response?
I have no information on that. You guys, I would not go with my, go ahead. You can let them further go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. 2817 Fairfield Drive. The nearest intersections were Northwest 164th and Santa Fe. We do have it on for $233,500, which is $136.87 a square foot. The appealed value was $232,055, which was the taxable. We ran a 6 comparable report, which showed a median value of $235,000, rounded up $800,799. We looked at the sales that were sent in. Their comparable number 1 was actually used in our comparables there. The 2nd, 5th, 29th, or no, 2nd, 5th, and 30th were all qualified sales. Comp number 23 was originally that sale date and price was an unqualified sale, but there was a deed that was filed 10/30/23, which was the most recent one, that was a qualified sale for $175,000. And then comp 29 was a 2024 sale, so we were not able to use that. That being said, I did use comparable number 1, 2, 5, the most recent of 23, and comparable number 30, and still got a median value of $235,790 when we used our comparable system.
Okay, they're at 221,350. You are slightly below your median at 235,800. Any movement from the assessor's office on this one?
No, ma'am. Even with our comparables and then using the comparables they sent to us, it is, about 1,500 to 2,000 above. The median is 15 to 2,000 above what it's on for, so.
Okay, and I'm gonna, just for the record, I'm showing that same email of February 26th of 2024 was sent to Barbara Blandino. It includes this property that we are speaking of now, BOE number 119. Okay, if there's nothing further from either party, I'm gonna close the hearing on 119 and proceed to item 5 on the agenda, which is BOE number 120. Street address 5513 Clover Lawn Drive. Resident number 1200815440. The assessor, if my notes are accurate, 187.5.
Yes, ma'am.
And in the previous 2 years, this property had a fair market value of $157,800. The property owner, I've got 187.5. Are they agreeing? Are you?
159,050 is what I showed them.
159,050. Okay. Do you have any response to this, Mr. Hayes?
Okay.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
Okay. 5513 Clover Lawn Drive. The nearest intersections were Sooner and Southeast 59th. Again, it is on for $187,500. That is $100.32 per square foot. Our comparables were showing a median value of $198,376. So I went ahead and, of course, I was making sure that we gave merit to the comparables that were being sent to us. So on the comparable sheet that you have from Ryan, comparable number 1, the sale listed 7/21 of 23 for $110,000 was an unqualified sale. There was also a more recent sale in 23 at 11/8/23, which was qualified, and it was $205,000. Comparable number 2 that was sent to us was also a qualified sale. Comparable number 3, 20 and 22 were unqualified. 20 was a sheriff's deed, 22 was to settle an estate. Comparable number 26 was a qualified sale. So I went ahead and threw those into our system to run the comparable sales report, and it gave a median value of $192,445 using their sales as well.
Okay, so you're 5,000 under the median.
Mm-hmm.
Any response to that, Mr. Hayes?
So we're
Okay, I'm going to close the hearing on BOE number 120 and proceed to item 6 on our agenda, which is BOE 121. Street address 300 Cherry Vale Road. I don't have a R number on this. If somebody can read me their R number, let's see.
121 R120271
Okay. I have the assessor setting the valuation at $202,000. I'm showing that it was purchased in November of 2014, that's some time ago, for $167,625. And you're now asking for a valuation of $145,800. Do you have any response to this, Mr. Hayes?
go ahead.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
300 Cherryvale Road. The nearest intersections were Danforth and Kelly. It is on for $202,000. That is $146.91 a square foot. They did appeal their taxable value again when the informal was sent in. They had listed $162,273. Our median value is $211,043. With the comparables that were sent in to us, comparable number 1, 3, and 19 were unqualified sales. Comparables number 2 and 18 were 2024 sales. So I was not able to use those as well. Comparable number 23, their records state that it was a 24 sale, but in our system they turned in the deed on 2023. So I only had one sale that was possibly usable at 1.6 miles from the subject. So I did not use it and stuck with our report with the median value of the $211,000.
Which one was that? Was that comp 3?
Comp 23 was the one that it says 24, but in our system they must have turned the deed in sooner, and it was a 23 sale.
And why was comp 3 not valid?
Comp 3, I did not write the reason, but we can pull that up for you real quick. You'll have to search by address.
And were your comps all in this neighborhood?
Yes, ma'am. At 409, and then the street is Brighton, BRI.
Greg, is this an older neighborhood?
Trying to figure out where that is.
So it exceeded reasonable market parameters, and it looks like they tried to verify the sale, which the sales team will send out letters saying, hey, you paid a lot less than what these houses are going for. What's the reason for that? They sent out 2 letters and did not get a response from the buyer, so they were unable to verify whether that was a qualified or unqualified sale. Yeah.
They'll only one comp, so. That's really-
Now, say that, I didn't write that. What's the major intersection?
It was Danforth and Kelly.
Oh, you did.
It's east of there.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Fretz is one of the side streets that's close to it.
Yeah, this is Westboro. It's just to the west of North High School.
Oh, okay. Okay, any response, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna close the hearing on BOE number 121 and go to 122, which is item 7 on the agenda. Street address 416 Claymont Drive, resident number 120 271 900. The assessor has placed a fair market value of $201,000. Mr. Hayes is asking for a valuation of $109,250. I have a purchase in November of 2014 at $142,106. So you're asking substantially less than your 10-year-old purchase, Mr. Hayes. Do you have any response?
Of course, ma'am, that's not what I would request for knowing.
Okay, we're here from the assessor.
Okay. 416 Claremont Drive. The intersections that are nearby, again, are Danforth and Kelly. We do have it on for $201,000, which is $144.71 a square foot. The protested value when we received the document was the taxable value, $162,273. Ran into the same problem as the last item where comp 1, these are the comparables provided by Ryan. Comp 1, 2, 18, and 22 were unqualified sales. Comparable number 17 was a 2024 sale. And then you see comparable 23 is the 117 Brad Street address again. And even though it's listed as 24, it is a 23 sale. So only one sale was going to be usable. But ours came in with a median value, $210,128. So we used our comparable sales in this analysis.
Yeah, I do show that comp 23 was 1.76 miles away and it was only 1,180 square feet, so it was significantly smaller.
Okay, any response, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna close 122. Item 8 on the agenda is BOE number 123. The assessor's asking for a value to be set at $179,500. Street address is 1102 Swan Lake Road. Resident number 120681450. I've got 2 numbers down here. I have 164,950 and 171,673. I have a sale date of May of 21 of 163,341. Which one?
I believe the 171, 673 is probably the taxable value that he disputed.
Yes, ma'am.
The 164,950 is what he's asking for.
Okay. Any response, Mr. Hayes?
Once again, I guess we're using the wrong value from the taxable instead of the market, so I'll make sure they know that.
Okay, so you're asking 164,950, which is slightly above what you paid for it 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago. Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
1102 Swan Lake Road. We are, I believe the nearest intersections are again, Danforth and Kelly. I'm second guessing myself because I wrote it 3 times in a row. It is currently on for $179,500, which is $149.83 a square foot. You were correct with the taxable was what was on the appeal value. Our median came in at $179,677, so pretty much right at what they're valued. I was looking at their comparable sales again, just to double check everything, and we used comparable number 1 and comparable number 4 of theirs in our original comparable sales report. Some of the comparable sales that were provided by them, comparable number 3, 6, 7, and 8 were all townhomes. Comparable number 5 was to settle an estate. And I went ahead and stuck with our comparable report being the most accurate.
Okay, I was looking for this on the email.
Their comparables?
No, just this, where you sent notice to them. I'm not seeing 450. Okay. Okay, any response to BOE number 123, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna close 123 and open up BOE number 124, which is item 9 on our agenda. The street address is 2518 Ripple Creek Lane. The resident number is 120 80 10 20. And I have that they're requesting a,
That's not what I showed.
that's not what you
Oh,
showed.
wait a minute, this is the one that we needed to correct. It is.
Right,
Okay, yes, sorry, go ahead.
it's okay. 158,900, is that what they were asking?
That is what they were asking, yes.
Okay, and what is the assessor asking?
We are at 192,000.
Any response to this one, Mr. Hayes? Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
Okay, 2518 Ripple Creek Lane. The nearest intersections are Santa Fe and Northwest 164th. Again, it is on for $192,000 at $147.01 a square foot. As you know, the processed value, the $164,382 was the taxable. Our median value was $194,197. When looking at their comparable sales, the comparable number 1, 113 Sonora was a valid sale, 10/30/23 for the $180,000. Which the dates are a little off, of course, as we've previously said. So that sale was a little older than 10/30. There was one in our system filed 10/27/23, which was the most recent, which was $195,000, and that was a qualified sale.
That was of the taxpayer.
For comp 1,
For comp 1 that they sent us.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
so comp 1, they showed it at 188,800, but you're saying it sold at a later date for
195.
195.
Yeah, just
And
one of
is
those.
that the adjusted price or the sale?
No, that was just the sale price for when it sold. Just that the most recent sale price wasn't being used when they ran, when they gave us their comparable report. We did use comparable number 5 in our comparable report. Number 8 was a 24 sale, and then 20 and 24 were a mile and a half or a little bit more away. And so ours being the better comparable sales
I'm surprised that you used his comp 5. My records show that it was 63,000, at least according to his records. Did you
It
see a later
says
sale on that one?
I have 73,500 for ours. It should be 404 Countryside Trail.
His comp 5.
His comp 5?
Yeah.
The 404 Countryside Trail?
Got it.
So we did use that, and the value that they listed on their comparable sale report, the 73,500, was incorrect. We have it selling at 220,500.
On his comp 5?
On his comp 5, the one provided by Ryan, 404 Countryside Trail,
All right, so you're showing it sold for how much? 200?
220,500 is what it was put on the dock stamps when it sold, when it was entered into our system.
Okay, so that's our comp 5 as well?
That is our comp 5 as well. Sorry.
Okay, that's why I'm so confused.
Let me just continue confusing you. I apologize. But their comp 5, when they listed it with the same sales date, was 73,500. So they just had the incorrect value when they were using it in their report.
So you're 2,000 under your median.
The 192,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any response, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Any questions, Rich? No. I'm gonna close the hearing on BOE number 124 and proceed to item 10 on our agenda, which is BOE 125, street address 1213 Aspen Trail, resident number 120 80 1240. The assessor is requesting a valuation of 256 even. I'm showing a sale in 2021 of this property of 220,000.
What was that address? Because I didn't have that on my list for today.
1230 Aspen Trail.
13.
1213.
1230 1213 Aspen Trail.
I didn't have that in my list. That's not what I was sent for today. Let me make sure.
I assume he gets the agendas as well, correct?
I
It's
mean,
posted.
it's posted on
Yeah.
website. It was sent through notice of appointments.
Hold on, let me check the rest of that. One, 213.
Aspen Trail.
Okay, I see that. Yes, sorry about that.
Okay, and now I'm showing the $220,000 for a May 2021 purchase by your client. You're asking $213,350. You want to say something about this one?
I mean,
But you have it, right?
I have it listed. I don't.
Okay,
But he did send me this to be done today. Yeah.
okay. So
All right.
we'll hear from the assessor. And I show a 23 valuation of 240,500 and a 22 valuation of 212,500.
Yes.
Okay.
1213 Aspen Trail. Your nearest intersections are going to be Northwest 164th and Santa Fe. We do have it on for $256,000. That is $154.40 a square foot. Again, they protested the taxable value in the original informal appeal, which was $234,282. Our median value came to $257,340, which is just a little over 1,000 above where they're at with their value of 256. I was going through their comparable report, the one that Ryan had sent us, and the comp number 1, 2904 Morgan Trail, They had a sale date for 11/23 at $213,000. That was not the most recent sale. The most recent sale was 9/8/23 for $255,000. And that was a qualified sale.
For how much?
$255,000.
Let me ask this, can you see, is there some obvious reason that a prior sale was being used?
I was not sure.
I'm familiar with the website,
Yes, ma'am.
and if both of those sales showed up on the website, it's just ignoring one of them.
I am not sure. I can't really speak to what their decision process was on that. I was curious as well, and I Googled the address just to see if maybe like they had looked at Zillow or something. And Zillow has the most recent sales with the most recent sale prices. So I wasn't sure, where the information was being obtained. So I honestly do not know.
But on the assessor's website, it lists it stacked on top of each other, and
Yes.
it has the values.
The most
and the
recent is at
numbers.
the top
Yeah.
and then goes down.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was the case. That was this case.
Mhm.
So could have been just transposed the number
Could have.
underneath it.
Yeah. It just matters when they're doing their
Certainly.
comparable sales and they have their adjusted sale prices and whatnot, because they're just not using the most recent sale price for what it had gone for. So went through and used 4 of their comparable sales that I could find that were qualified sales, and still arrived at they were a little bit less. Their median was actually our mean, around the 256,000 when I used their sale prices. So,
Any response, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna close BOE number 125 and go to BOE number 126, which is item 11 on our agenda. Street address 1113 Country Wood Lane. Resident number 120 80 1620. The assessor is requesting a valuation set of $237,000, and the property owner is requesting $217,550. Any response to this, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
1113 Countrywood Lane. Your nearest intersections are again Northwest 164th and Santa Fe. We do have it on for $237,000. Price per square foot was $147.57. Again, the protested value $229,955, which was the taxable. Our median came in $238,204. So just a little above where the home is currently valued at. If we move over to the comparable sales that Ryan sent us, comparable number 1 is the same as before, where they might, not sure, but they didn't use the most recent sale. Let's see, comparable number 2 was a qualified sale. Comparable number 4, again, similar situation with the date and the sale price. We had a more recent date with a more recent sale price, $175,000. Let's see, comparable number 27, though listed as a there is a 24 sale for $240,000. It also sold in 2022 for $239,500. And then comparable number 28, that was a 2024 sale. So I went ahead and ran their comparables 1, 2, and the 22 sales, so comparable 27, 1, 2, and comparable 24. And got a median value of $238,162. So basically as equal as ours is with a 6 comparable report.
So I also showed that of his comps, all but one of them were more than a half a mile away.
Yes, ma'am.
And all but one of your comps were less. And the one that was more was only 0.53, so it was barely more than a half a mile away. So, Mr. Hayes, do you have an explanation for why your team is consistently pulling comps that are that much further away when there's clearly a lot of properties that are closer?
Well, not really. This is our first year actually contesting over homeland. Apparently, they were just pulling data just to provide something. I was supposed to come in and do what I did yesterday and look at your data. I wasn't able to do that because I didn't see good data. So that's the only excuse I have.
Is there, if this, just as a backup plan, would it be fair to tell him that he has access to the website? To at least the information that you guys have on the assessor website?
Yeah.
I know that, but the website doesn't break down. You got stuff like what they sent to us. You don't have to break down square footage. All you have is the price.
No, it does have the square footage, because I've looked at it.
Yeah, it has the basics, but I break it down a little more, man, to get my value.
What,
So you need all the information, not just part of it. From an appraisal standpoint, I need all the information. I can't do the basics.
It really wouldn't help you unless you're looking at their comp sheet.
Yeah.
That's the document that's missing in most of his defense.
Well, I'm going to handle that today.
Who, the assessor's comp
This
sheet?
is the second
Yeah.
time this has happened, so I will handle that. I'll be prepared on Monday, because we're going to track those emails down. I'm actually sending emails off now to my man to see what's going on.
Okay.
So, well, I'll figure it out.
Okay, so but one of the things Ms. Summers is suggesting to you is if you looked at the assessor's website,
Yes, I did.
let me finish though. You would see the most recent sale. Like you guys are using older sales instead of the more recent sales, and they're listed in chronological order, newest to oldest on the website. And if you're going to use a comp, you got to use the comp's most current sale, right? You'd agree with that, right?
Yes, ma'am. Why did you say that?
Okay.
Yes, they have the current sale, yeah.
Okay. So, with nothing further, I'm going to close the hearing on BOE number 126 and go to the last item on our agenda, which is which is item 12, BOE number 127. The street address is 2905 Parkside Drive. The resident number is 120-88-1480. And you're asking for a valuation of $222,300, and the assessor is at $242,000. Last year, 227, which is closer to yours, and the previous year, 201,500. I don't have a purchase date on this one. Do you have anything to contribute to BOE number 127, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I will hear from the assessor.
I did have a
Oh, you did?
purchase date of May of 2021,
May of 20, for how much?
$191,718.
191,718. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, 2905 Parkside Drive. Your nearest intersections are going to be Northwest 164th and Santa Fe. It is on for $242,000, which is $159.95 a square foot. The protested value was again the taxable value. We did have a 21 sale. There was also a multi-property purchase in 22 that it was involved in. So the most recent sale is 2822 in a multi-property purchase.
Okay.
So from there, our median value was $245,837. If we were to look at the Ryan comparable sales that were sent in, let's see. I reran a couple of their qualified sales, which was comparable 10, comparable 12, comparable 11, and comparable number 8, which are still all quite far from the subject. But since they were sent in, I wanted to make sure that we at least still looked at them. It gave a median value of 254,544 with all the adjustments made to those properties.
So theirs is higher than yours.
Yes, it seems like the neighborhoods that those are
Yes.
located in are a less valued neighborhood because of where they are.
Trails, this is Trail South, which
Mhm.
runs a half mile pretty much north and south, and then to the west of it's Lexington, which is it's a step up neighborhood from this, a lot
Yes.
newer as well. So the further out you get, the more you're going to have a discrepancy in comparables.
Yes.
So you're saying the reason partially why your adjusted price was so much higher is because you had to make a pretty significant adjustment because of the neighborhood?
Theirs is higher.
For ours, we're at 245,837.
Right.
For the
They're at 254, right?
double check, just to make sure. They were at 254, yes. When I put theirs into our system, just because of where some of those homes were located, and
Right, you're saying that under the section where it says neighborhood, it would have made a pretty significant adjustment because of
yes, ma'am.
this. Okay.
Newer and better quality.
I'm trying, can you help me? What is this near? I'm having a hard time.
Crest, you know where Crest is? This is south,
The older one?
the older one at
Yes.
15th and Santa Fe.
Yes. Oh, that's Santa Fe. Okay, I got you. Okay,
It's south and then to the west
Okay.
side of the road.
I got you. All right. Okay, anything to respond to this, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna close the hearing on BOE number 127. Now, with respect to next week, we've got a couple of people who we've had to put on the docket for next week, and we're gonna hold next week's numbers at 15. We
So we're
originally,
doing 20.
well, we thought we were gonna do 20, but we've got other people to put on the agenda other than you, who
Okay,
we were.
So, what Kyron did, he sent me the agenda. Can you guys send me the agenda, please? So I can make sure I have my documentation ready, because I like being prepared for my hearing.
Sure. Okay,
And I'll send notice by email
okay.
of the appointments.
And so when you say that, what, you're gonna send him an email with a link that
I will
he can
send it
click on to the
to
agenda?
Barbara. I don't have Brad's yet, but I can send it to Brad as well.
Yeah, Brad.Hayes and Ryan, please send all correspondence to me from now that we're in hearing process.
So,
So, disrepresent.
so Mr. Hayes, do you have the documentation you need from the assessor's office for next Monday right now? Do you have
No.
it yet?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to start checking as soon as we finish.
Okay.
I will be on that as soon as once you guys, the fact that you guys send me all my documentation, all my hearings for next week, I'm gonna make sure I'm prepared.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see you next week. We're gonna sign off now.
Okay, have me, you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so, what are we doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week as well? Okay, and we have one for each day, or two for one day, one for,
We'll have-
other than he?
I have one for the first and
Okay.
two for the second.
Okay. All right,
And how many do we have for Ryan?
Well, I just got round 2 yesterday, so we have notice.
We're just taking them as they come.
Yes.
But didn't we, at some point, you said there was something around 200 disputes from them?
Yeah, we'll still have those as well, so they'll be after ongoing for the rest of April.
oh, we got him exclusively for April? Okay, but,
And then probably May with including the second round we just received.
Steve, so the other day we got another batch, right?
Yes, ma'am. So, sorry.
No, either one of you.
I was going to say, Territory 1 and 2, those notices got sent out January 22nd,
Oh, that's right.
which was the first batch of appeals. There were a couple of Territory 3 and 4 mixed in with that first batch when they sent them. That was numbered about 258. The second round of appeals that we got in numbered about 143. But there were some duplicates since they had sent some during the first round. They resent them. So I'm not quite sure. You got 122. So that was the Territory 3 and 4 notices that they were appealing that one.
Okay, so have all residentials gone out?
We have
Yeah.
one last cleanup round supposedly going out Monday.
Oh, okay.
And it's not gonna be a big one. It's gonna be, I hate to throw out a number, but our last cleanup round, I wanna say was about 7,000 or 8,000. This will be somewhere around 1,000. And it'll be residential, a little bit of commercial, just basically like last minute deed changes and last minute valuation changes.
Okay.
But for all intents and purposes, yeah, we've sent out the vast majority of everything.
So just from your experience of dealing with them, because he said this was the first time, this is year 3 for me, for them. Are they not talking to each other when they say, I mean, we got proof that we sent stuff and he's saying he didn't get it? Is
These
it that
guys would be better off answering that question, but this is not their first time. Maybe it's his first time, but the company of Ryan Tax
Right.
Consulting, they've appealed this for at least the last 2 years prior.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it may be his first time. I think they dealt with someone named Barbara during
Yes.
the informals.
Oh, that's the deal.
Barbara Blandino, the one in the emails, was the one that sent us the informal appeals as well as all the comparable sales reports. So when we completed ours, we emailed her in batches by company name, the PDFs when they were completed, which is why those say Barbara Blandino, is because that's who we were corresponding with.
Are they equal or is she just a support person for them or do you know?
I honestly do not know.
Are you getting a read receipt back? I just want to make sure that you're covered and that they have access to it.
We are not getting read receipts back, but there were a couple of emails that I tried to send that where the files might have been too big, and it kicked them back. So I pared down the number and resent them, and they went through. So if we got a kickback email, we resent them in smaller amounts to make sure they received them.
Does your email system have the capability of read receipts?
Yes, ma'am, which we can do as well. We also sent them, I included it in the emails, but just to make sure that they do still have something. This one, February 29th of 24, when we were done with the first round, as we're calling it, of Ryan LLC appeals, we send a spreadsheet to them with account number, email address, and everything listed on it, with whether it was denied or adjusted and the adjusted price, as a shorthand reference for them, because we do label everything by account number. So it has account number and address so that they can find what they need to find.
Just sitting, from my perspective, sitting on this side of the table, we don't have, when one of the parties doesn't have all the data,
Right.
either you don't have their data or they don't have yours, there's just certain unsettling feeling about we're not getting this done properly, in my mind. Now, whether who's at issue, setting up for a possible appeal from the taxpayer.
Yes.
But I feel like you're doing everything that you possibly can. I would just say cover yourself a little bit more with receipts.
Sure.
And today we probably could have settled about half of these. We were so close on a lot of them.
Yes.
When he would have offered, what he thought rather than what was in the original. So
I mean, I will say, Barbara Blandino reached out to us. Was it Monday?
Yes.
It was on Monday for that round 2 of formal appeals that they sent in, and she stated that they, for some reason, were missing the PDFs. So we resent all the round 2 PDFs to her. So she expressed to us and, told us in enough time that we could get them all to her. It's just the email from Brad about.
It's still gonna be her, but he's gonna show up with him, right?
She was the one that was asking for that
Okay.
information to fill out the
Will
formal.
you be re-forwarding all the next week's to him then?
We sent those emails to y'all. If he expresses that he cannot find them, then we'll resend them to him as well if he requests it. This morning when he requested we resend the ones for today, it was about 30 minutes before the board, and we did not have the
But
time
didn't
to
he ask
do
for
that.
Monday?
I do not
Didn't
know.
he ask for
He
Monday?
asked for the agenda.
And then he said he was
agenda.
going to check and see if they had them.
Okay.
So if he sends an email and requests them resent, we'll resend them to him.
I think we should, just to
Yeah.
be sure,
Absolutely.
for Monday. And then,
Today was a little interesting just because he emailed quite shortly before this meeting and we were already
Well, do we want to go ahead and ask, I think what you just said is that you go ahead
Just
and
re-send them.
send them to him today, send
Sure.
them to Mr. Hayes
Absolutely.
today,
For
just so
Monday.
that there's no question on Monday that he didn't receive them.
we'll just go ahead and send him all 3 days. At least the first and second are posted already.
Probably
We'll
a good idea.
We'll do the first and second.
Yeah.
We subject line them as the date that the BOE is happening, and then it's got the appeal note or the account number in there. So we'll make sure to resend them.
No, I feel like you all are doing everything you can. I would just say, cover yourselves.
Can I,
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I really want to ask this question or not, maybe you'll shoot me down, but does it make sense for him to blind copy us, at least in this one case, because he keeps disputing, at least that way, if he comes back Monday and says, I didn't get them, we can say, no, you did, because I got them.
I absolutely can. If you
Sure.
guys would like to write down your email addresses, I'll make sure that we BCC you.
I always like.
Do we have them?
I prefer
No, I
blind
think it
copies.
needs to go to Keisha.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
and then Keisha can send it to us if she wants.
I'll BCC you on the emails.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.